the human colony that survived a hostile galaxy. The spaceship Horizon shook violently as it passed through a strange asteroid belt. Captain Arin gripped the control panel tightly, feeling the metal tremble under his hands. All around, the crew looked tense, their eyes fixed on the view screen where large rocks moved dangerously close. "This belt is denser than we expected," whispered Lieutenant Mara. Her voice trembling, Arin nodded, sweat running down his forehead. "We have to get through, or the mission fails." After what felt like hours, but was only minutes, the Horizon finally emerged into open space. Before them lay a planet bathed in pale blue light, orbiting a red star. The scanners showed signs of a breathable atmosphere, water, and land that could support a colony. "Looks like we found our new home," said Engineer Yalin, trying to hide his excitement. But Captain Arin did not smile. His instincts told him something was off. As the ship entered the planet's orbit, strange readings appeared on the console. Electromagnetic pulses, energy fluctuations, signals that did not match any known pattern. The crew exchanged nervous glances. Some of them whispered quietly to each other. Could this planet really be safe? One of the junior officers asked. Arin studied the data carefully. "We proceed with caution," he said firmly. He knew that rushing into unknown worlds could be deadly. The landing was rough, the Horizon shaking as it touched the rocky surface. Dust and small rocks flew into the air, and the engines roared loudly. When the dust settled, the crew stepped outside in their protective suits. The air was thin but breathable, carrying a strange metallic smell. Tall trees with silver leaves surrounded the landing site, and the ground glowed faintly under the red sun. It was beautiful but eerie, as if the planet was watching them. Lieutenant Mara pointed to movement near the forest edge. "I saw something move," she said, her voice tight with fear. The others looked carefully, but all they saw were shadows shifting quickly between the trees. Engineer Yalin tightened his grip on his scanner. "Nothing is normal here," he muttered. Arin raised a hand to stop them from exploring too far. "We stay close to the ship until we understand the risks," he said. The crew obeyed, but the unease in the air grew heavier by the minute. As night approached, strange sounds echoed from the forest. High-pitched screeches and low rumbles, like creatures warning them to leave. Some of the crew tried to identify the sounds with scanners, but the devices failed. The signals were blocked or absorbed by something unknown. Captain Arin felt a chill run down his spine. He had faced hostile planets before, but this was different. Something intelligent was here, watching them silently. Suddenly, a bright light flashed across the sky. Moving faster than any natural meteor, it landed somewhere deep in the forest. Shaking the ground with a small explosion, the crew froze, looking at the smoke rising between the trees. "Investigate?" asked Yalin hesitantly. Arin considered the danger. "We must understand what it is." But carefully, he said, they formed a small team, carrying scanners, lights, and weapons. Moving quietly toward the forest, every step made the tension grow. Every shadow seemed alive as they entered the forest. They saw traces of something unusual. Tall footprints with 3 toes, unlike any animal on Earth. Glowing plants bent away as if repelling them. The strange energy readings grew stronger, pulsing in rhythm with the crew's heartbeats. Mara's scanner beeped loudly, then went silent. The forest seemed to swallow all technology, and even sound became distorted. It felt alive, almost intelligent, guiding or warning them. Then they saw it. A creature standing near a glowing lake. It was tall, slender, with skin that shimmered in the red light, but it had no eyes. Its head moved slowly, as if observing them, and it made no sound. The crew froze. Unsure whether it was hostile or curious, Yalin whispered, It's not like anything we've seen before. Arin stepped forward cautiously. "We come in peace," he said aloud, more for himself than for the creature. The alien did not move, but the air around them grew heavy, and the forest seemed to lean closer. Finally, Arin decided to retreat, slowly leading the crew back to the horizon. Every sound, every movement in the forest seemed to follow them. Once inside the ship, they sealed the doors, and the tension slightly eased, but the energy readings outside continued, pulsing in a pattern that no human could understand. Captain Arin stared at the planet from the cockpit, his mind racing with questions. Was this world a new home or a trap? He knew one thing for certain: survival here would not be easy, and the unknown was only beginning. The crew gathered in the mess hall, trying to calm themselves. No one spoke of fear openly, but it hung in the air like a shadow. Arin addressed them. "We face the unknown together, and together we will survive. But stay alert. This galaxy is hostile, and we are alone, but our strength is human ingenuity. Tomorrow we explore further, but with caution, patience, and unity." As the crew listened, each felt the weight of their task. The human colony had arrived, but the galaxy would not make it easy for them. The night on the strange planet fell quickly. Red light from the distant star cast long shadows across the horizon's landing site. Captain Arin watched from the cockpit as the crew prepared for the first night outside the safety of the ship. Even in their suits, tension filled the air like a heavy fog. Lieutenant Mara checked the perimeter sensors again, frowning. "Something's moving in the trees, but I can't see it clearly." Arin's jaw tightened. "Stay alert and do not leave the lighted area," he commanded. No one questioned him, but fear was written on every face. Hours passed, and strange noises grew louder. Low growls vibrated through the ground, and high-pitched screeches echoed from the forest. The crew huddled near the ship, trying to keep their lights on as shields against the darkness. Engineer Yalin fiddled with a portable scanner, but it only showed interference. "It's like the planet itself is blocking our technology," he muttered. A sudden crash behind them made everyone jump. They spun around, weapons raised, but saw nothing. Just the shadows moving between the glowing trees. Then it began. One by one, colonists started disappearing. First, a technician named Lara. She went to check the power generator and never returned. Her comms went silent. Only a faint static whisper remained. The crew called her name, but the forest swallowed their voices. Panic spread quickly, and some wanted to search immediately. Arin stopped them. "We cannot run blindly into the forest. We need a plan," he said firmly, but fear had already taken hold. Every shadow could be the last thing they saw, every sound a predator. Suddenly, a scream rang out from the far side of the landing site. It was Mara, pointing frantically toward the darkness. A figure appeared, moving fast, too fast to be human. Its limbs stretched and twisted unnaturally. Disappearing into the trees before anyone could get a clear view, Yalin tried to track it with the scanner, but the device went dead. Arin felt a cold shiver, realizing this planet was alive with creatures far beyond human understanding. The colonists began setting traps around the ship, using lights, nets, and energy fields. But every trap failed. The predators seemed smarter. Avoiding them at every step, night stretched on, and the humans grew tired, hungry, and scared. Even the strongest among them felt doubt creeping in. Could they survive another night like this? Arin gathered the remaining crew. "Listen carefully. We cannot fight blindly. We must observe, learn, and then act. This is not just a planet. It is a hunting ground, and we are the prey." His words sank into their minds like cold water, and silence fell over them. Meanwhile, deep in the forest, shadows moved in patterns that seemed deliberate. The creatures were not mindless. They coordinated. Sometimes two would circle the colony from opposite directions. Sometimes a single one would appear, then vanish. It was as if the planet itself had chosen guardians, and humans were intruders. A faint glow from their eyes revealed intelligence, and fear gripped the crew more tightly than before. Hours later, the sky changed as the planet's red sun dipped behind the horizon. A strange fog rolled in from the forests. Thick and glowing faintly, the fog carried whispers, almost like voices speaking in a language the humans could not understand. Some crew members pressed their hands to their ears. Trying to block the sound, Yalin stared at the console. The fog, "It's affecting our minds," he said nervously. Arin realized they could not trust their senses entirely. Even sleep would not bring safety. The planet played tricks on the mind as well as the body. Then, in the middle of the fog, a shadow moved closer to the ship. It was enormous, taller than any human. With limbs bending in impossible ways, its face had no features, only smooth skin that shimmered under the red light. The crew froze, holding their breath, unsure if moving would trigger an attack. The creature stopped at the edge of the light, staring silently, then it vanished without a sound, leaving the crew shaken and silent. By dawn, the first survivors were exhausted and terrified. Several colonists refused to move from near the ship, and some wept quietly. Arin knew they could not stay here forever. The planet would slowly wear them down. He called a meeting. "We need to explore cautiously, map the threats, and understand the creatures. This planet is not just dangerous. It is intelligent, and we must respect that to survive. We will move forward, but together and never alone." The crew nodded. Fear in their eyes, but determination in their hearts. They realized survival would require courage, intelligence, and unity like never before. The shadows in the forest receded slightly as the sun rose, but their presence lingered, a constant reminder that the planet was alive and aware. Captain Arin stared at the glowing trees and whispered, "We are guests here, but the galaxy has already declared war on us." The colonists prepared for another day, knowing that each step outside the ship could be their last. The planet had shown them only the first of its threats, and worse dangers were waiting deeper in the forest. The human colony had survived the night, but the real challenge was only beginning. The sun rose pale and weak over the horizon's landing site. Captain Arin walked among the tired and frightened colonists, his eyes scanning for signs of danger. The events of the previous night haunted every face. Even the strongest crew members moved slowly, shadows under their eyes. Lieutenant Mara checked the perimeter sensors again, frowning. "Some readings are missing. Like someone disabled them." Arin's heart tightened. "Sabotage?" he muttered under his breath. He knew that on a hostile planet, even one traitor could destroy them all. He called the crew to the mess hall, his voice firm. "Listen carefully. We have a serious problem. Someone among us has been tampering with our equipment. Our defenses were compromised last night, and if this continues, we won't survive the forest or the predators." Whispers spread through the room, eyes shifting nervously from person to person. Some colonists looked shocked, others guilty, and the tension became almost unbearable. Yalin stepped forward. "I saw it happen. I think I know who is behind it." All eyes turned toward him, questions burning in the silence. "Who?" Mara asked sharply, her voice trembling. Yalin swallowed hard. "Officer Kale. He's been sending data outside the colony." A murmur of disbelief ran through the group. Arin felt a cold anger rise inside him. "Kale?" he said slowly. "He has been with us since the beginning, trusted, loyal." The thought that someone they depended on could betray them made the crew shiver. They searched Kale's quarters, and what they found confirmed Jalin's suspicions. encrypted messages to an unknown location, detailed notes about the colony's defenses, and maps of their landing site. Arin confronted Cale directly. Why? Cale's expression was calm, almost proud. You don't understand, Captain. Humans are weak. And the planet? It wants to test us. I am only helping it survive. Only helping evolution choose the strong. The words hit like ice. The idea that Cale could willingly betray them to the dangers outside was terrifying. The crew argued fiercely. Some wanted to execute Cale immediately. Arin stopped them. No, we cannot afford to make mistakes. We will control him, but we need his knowledge. He may be the key to surviving the forest and the creatures that hunt us. Cale smirked. You realize I hold all the advantage. Even in chains, he radiated a chilling confidence. It was clear that he had already manipulated some of the equipment to fail at critical times. Every night could bring disaster because of him. That night, Arin assigned a small team to guard Cale, while the rest of the crew repaired the damaged systems. The forest outside seemed darker than ever. The shadows moving with a purpose. Strange whispers drifted on the wind, carrying a sense of warning. As the humans worked, Cale watched, his eyes sharp and calculating. Every step they took, every repair they made. He seemed to anticipate. It was as if he had become part of the planet's intelligence. A dangerous ally to the unknown threat, then. A scout returning from the forest shouted, "They're coming." All work stopped, lights raised, and weapons readied from the edge of the trees. Creatures moved faster than ever, coordinated, almost tactical. The humans had never seen anything like it. Cale's smirk widened. You see? I warned you. Only the strong survive. The predators attacked in waves, testing the traps and defenses. The colonists fired, but the creatures were smart, avoiding traps and luring humans into dangerous areas. Chaos erupted as the colony scrambled, and Cale watched with cold amusement during the fight. Mara noticed something strange. Captain. Cale's controlling some of the lights and doors. Arin realized Cale was manipulating the defenses in real time, forcing the crew into dangerous positions. The betrayal became deadly clear. One man had almost destroyed the colony. Arin shouted commands. Ignore him. Focus on survival. We move as one. The team worked together, using makeshift tactics to trap the predators and protect the weakest members. Slowly, painfully, they managed to push the creatures back to the edge of the forest. But the cost was high. Several colonists injured. One nearly lost. The forest seemed to pulse, as if the planet was learning from their fight, adapting after the night ended. Arin pulled Cale aside. You wanted control. Now you see the consequences. We can survive together. Or you can doom us all. Cale looked at him with strange respect. You are clever, Captain, but weak. The forest will teach you lessons you cannot ignore. Arin clenched his fists. Lesson or not, humans will survive. We will not be prey. And we will not be betrayed again. Cale laughed softly. Then the game truly begins. The weight of the betrayal hung over the colony like a dark cloud. No one would forget that the greatest threat came not only from the forest, but from within. As dawn broke, the horizon stood battered but alive. The crew gathered, exhausted and shaken. They understood now that survival required not just courage, but trust and vigilance. Every shadow could hide a predator, and every human could hide a threat. Captain Arin looked toward the glowing forest, his mind racing with plans. The betrayal had shown them the danger of human weakness, but it had also revealed the power of unity and determination. The human colony had survived another night, but the forest was far from finished testing them, and the galaxy around them remained hostile. The morning sun barely pierced the dense canopy of the alien forest. Captain Arin and his crew stood silently outside the horizon, staring at the faintly glowing trees. The previous night's betrayal still weighed heavily on their minds. They knew the planet was intelligent, and now they realized it might be hiding something even more dangerous. Lieutenant Mara's scanner picked up faint underground energy signals, unusual and strong. "What is that?" she asked, her voice tight with curiosity and fear. Arin studied the readings carefully. "It's not natural. Something is down there. We have to find out, but we move cautiously." No one goes alone. A small exploration team was formed, carrying lights, scanners, and protective gear. The forest floor glowed faintly under their feet, making shadows twist in impossible ways. Every step brought a strange sense of awareness, as if the trees themselves were watching as they approached the source of the energy. The ground gave way to a massive sinkhole hidden by roots and glowing vines. Yalin shone his light down the hole, revealing a stone staircase spiraling into darkness. Arin led the way, descending slowly, the air growing colder with every step. The staircase ended in a vast underground chamber, unlike anything the humans had ever seen. Tall structures of unknown metal rose from the ground. Pulsing with soft light, symbols glowed on walls. Moving like flowing water, Mara touched one carefully, and a holographic map of the planet appeared. Yalin gasped. "It's a control center. Someone built this to monitor everything above." Arin realized the truth. The planet is alive because someone or something designed it to be alive. This is not natural. It's engineered. The crew felt awe and fear, knowing they had stumbled upon an alien secret far beyond human understanding. As they explored further, strange whispers filled the chamber. Not in any language they knew. It was a mix of tones and pulses, almost like a warning. Then the floor shifted slightly, revealing a hidden passage. They moved carefully, weapons ready, only to find a room filled with alien machinery. Some devices hummed as if they were still alive. Screens displayed unknown symbols and images of creatures similar to the ones in the forest. The humans realized these were not random predators. They were engineered by the aliens to test intruders. Yalin pointed at one of the consoles. "Look. This one shows us moving through the forest. It's like they know everything we do." Arin felt a chill run down his spine. The planet isn't just alive. It's watching, learning, and adapting. Suddenly, the floor vibrated, and a deep hum filled the chamber. A section of the wall slid open, revealing what looked like an alien pod. Inside, a faintly glowing figure floated. Suspended in liquid, Mara stepped closer, whispering, "It's alive, but in stasis." The presence felt intelligent, powerful, and dangerous. Arin realized that this was the source of the forest's control. A living mind controlling the predators, the fog, and even the energy fields. Then, without warning, alarms echoed through the chamber. Lights flashing red, a holographic figure appeared, projecting from the alien pod. It was humanoid but taller, with smooth skin and no eyes. It spoke in pulses that Mara could barely translate through the ship's equipment. The message was clear. "Humans. Intruders. You are not welcome." Arin raised his hand slowly, trying to communicate. "We come in peace. We only want to survive." The figure paused, then pulsed brightly, sending waves through the chamber. The floor shook violently, and the humans realized the planet was responding directly to their presence. They had triggered something ancient and powerful, something that did not welcome outsiders. Kale, still with them, watched silently, his face unreadable. "Your people will never understand what controls this world," he said softly. Arin ignored him, focusing on the hologram. "We will survive, no matter what." The alien mind pulsed again, showing visions of humans in peril, forests burning, predators hunting, and colonies destroyed. It was a warning and a challenge. Mara's scanner beeped urgently. "Captain, The energy is rising. If we don't leave, the chamber might collapse, or worse, it might trap us inside. Arin nodded. We take what we can learn, but we go now. The colony must live. And we cannot risk being destroyed here. They retreated slowly, careful not to trigger any more reactions. The forest above seemed to sense their departure, shadows following their every movement. As they climbed back to the horizon, Arin felt the weight of responsibility. They had discovered an alien secret that could save or destroy humanity. The knowledge was dangerous, and the forest would not forgive mistakes. That night, the crew gathered. Exhausted but alive, Arin addressed them. We have seen what controls this planet. We have touched its mind, and it has tested us. Tomorrow, we plan our next steps, learn what we can, and prepare for the dangers still ahead. The humans understood one thing clearly. The galaxy was hostile. The planet was alive, and the aliens behind it were far more intelligent than they had imagined. Survival would require courage, strategy, and unity like never before. The horizon shuddered as the planet's forest seemed to rise against them. Shadows moved faster than before, trees bending unnaturally, as if reaching for the humans. Captain Arin stood on the deck, gripping the controls, eyes wide with tension. We need to leave now, he shouted. Lieutenant Mara checked the scanners. The predators are coordinating, Captain. They are cutting off all paths to safety. Engineer Yalin worked furiously to repair the last damaged systems. Sparks flying from the console. Kale, chained but free to observe, smirked. You think you can escape? The planet has other plans. The colonists gathered. Fear etched into every face. Some carried wounded comrades. Others held weapons tightly. The red sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that danced like living creatures. Arin shouted orders. Form teams, protect the horizon. Everyone stays together. No one goes alone. And trust no one outside your group. The crew split into squads, moving cautiously toward the ship. Every step was dangerous. The forest seemed alive, closing in, sensing fear. Suddenly, a group of tall, eyeless predators appeared, moving silently. One leaped from a tree. Landing directly in front of Yalin, he fired his pulse rifle. But the creature twisted unnaturally and disappeared into the shadows. Mara yelled, "They are faster than we are, and smarter too." Arin realized the planet itself was controlling these creatures. They were not random attacks. They were traps designed to push humans into the open. Vulnerable, Kale laughed softly. You are running right into their game. Arin ignored him, focusing on guiding the colony safely back to the horizon. As they approached the landing site, they found the ground partially collapsed. A sinkhole had opened, swallowing some of the traps and a small vehicle. Panic surged, but Arin forced himself to stay calm. Adapt, improvise, survive, he muttered. Colonists formed a human chain, pulling the injured and equipment across unstable ground. Every second mattered. Predators circling, testing their strength and resolve inside the horizon. The crew worked to start the engines. Yalin typed rapidly, sparks flying as the system flickered on and off. The engines roared, but suddenly, a massive shadow crashed into the ship's hull. The impact sent alarms blaring and lights flickering. Arin grabbed the controls. Hold on, everyone, we're taking off. Prepare for evasive maneuvers. The horizon lifted slowly, shuddering as the creatures below tried to stop them. Branches smashed against the hull, but the ship rose, scraping past the glowing canopy. As they cleared the forest, the real danger began. The planet sent waves of energy pulses toward the ship. Shields flickered under the assault, sparks and smoke filling the control room. Kale pointed out of the window. The planet fights back. It will not let you leave easily. Arin gritted his teeth. maneuvering the ship through narrow canyons and asteroid-like formations. Colonists held on tightly, some praying, some shouting encouragement. The horizon dodged massive tree-like tendrils reaching for them, each strike threatening to tear the ship apart. Suddenly, a squad of predators appeared in the sky. Leaping from floating rocks, they dove toward the ship with speed impossible for their size. Mara fired pulse beams, taking down a few, but more kept coming. Arin twisted the controls, making sharp dives and rolls. Jalen's hands flew across the console, rerouting power to shields and weapons. The horizon groaned under the strain. Sparks flying from the engines, colonists screamed and shouted. Fear and adrenaline mixing into pure survival instinct. In the chaos, Kale seized an opportunity. Trying to unlock some systems remotely, Arin noticed, "Stop him. He's sabotaging us." 2 crew members restrained Kale, preventing him from causing more damage. The fight with the forest, the creatures, and Kale's treachery pushed them all to the edge. Finally, after what felt like hours but was only minutes, the horizon cleared the forest. They entered open space, the alien planet shrinking behind them, pulsating as if angry, alive, and aware. The crew exhaled collectively, exhaustion and relief washing over them. But they knew the danger was far from over. The galaxy itself was hostile, full of unknown threats. And now they had seen the intelligence and power of alien worlds. Arin addressed the colonists. Voice steady but heavy. "We survived the forest. But survival is only the first step. The galaxy tests all who enter. And we have barely begun to understand its rules." The humans looked out into the dark stars, knowing that above them waited more dangers, more hostile planets, more predators, and perhaps more betrayals. But for now, the horizon carried them away from the immediate threat. Alive and determined, that night, the crew rested in the ship's cabin. Wounds tended, fears whispered quietly. Arin sat in the cockpit, staring at the planet fading behind them. He knew the alien mind below the forest had watched every move, learned every weakness. The betrayal of Kale had almost cost them everything, and the galaxy was far from done with them. Tomorrow, they would chart a course to safety, repair and plan the counterattack, but tonight they simply survived. And survival, in this hostile galaxy, was victory enough for now. The horizon drifted silently through the dark galaxy. Stars stretching endlessly ahead, Captain Arin studied the planet they had escaped. A distant red glow pulsing faintly like a warning. The forest below had taught them one undeniable truth. The galaxy was alive with intelligence. And the planet they had barely survived was only one test among many. Arin turned to Mara. "We cannot run forever. We must strike back, find the alien command, and end the threat before it finds us again." Mara nodded, her jaw tight. "But Captain, we barely survived the first attack. The predators, the planet, Kale's betrayal. Can we really do it?" Arin's eyes hardened. "We have no choice. Humans survive because we adapt, because we fight, and this galaxy will not control us. Not today." The crew gathered in the strategy room. Maps and scans spread across the table. Kale, chained and watched carefully, leaned against the wall, smirking. "You really think you can defeat it?" he asked, voice mocking. Arin ignored him, focusing on the intelligence they had gathered. Scanners had detected a massive structure beneath the planet's surface. It pulsed with energy, likely the core controlling the predators. The fog and the strange phenomena. Jalen pointed at the map. "If we strike here, we might disrupt its control. But it will be heavily defended, and it will know we are coming." Arin took a deep breath. "Then we go prepared, quiet, and precise. We strike fast, and we strike hard. No mistakes, No hesitation. The horizon descended slowly toward the planet. Night had fallen, and the red glow of the alien energy pulsed across the surface. The forest seemed even more alive than before, shadows twisting unnaturally in anticipation. Colonists loaded weapons, checked scanners, and readied themselves, Mara whispered. I've never seen anything this intelligent. It's like the planet itself is a predator with a plan. Arin nodded. Then we become the hunters. We will turn their intelligence against them. They approached the hidden entrance beneath the forest. A cave-like structure glowing faintly. Predators lurked along the edges, eyes glowing in the dark, waiting to strike. Arin split the crew into small teams. Each assigned a specific task. Some would distract the predators. Others would infiltrate the alien core. Yalan whispered to Mara. If we fail, none of us make it out. Arin's voice was steady. Then we cannot fail. The first team moved through the shadows, using quiet pulses and lights to confuse the predators. The creatures attacked strategically, avoiding traps and testing the humans. But the colonists adapted, setting decoys, creating diversions, and moving with precision. Inside the core chamber, the alien energy pulsed violently. Responding to their intrusion, the floor shook, walls hummed, and the holographic figures of the alien mind appeared. It spoke in pulses again, unintelligible but menacing. Kale watched with fascination, whispering, They don't understand. You cannot defeat what thinks faster than you do. Arin and Mara led the strike team deeper. Dodging traps and energy pulses, one of the colonists tripped a security field, triggering a violent response. A wave of energy swept across the chamber, knocking several humans to the floor. Yalan scrambled, rerouting power to shields. Sparks flying, Arin shouted, Push forward! We cannot stop now. The alien mind seemed to react, manipulating the chamber itself. Walls shifting, floors tilting, trying to crush or trap them. It was as if the planet itself was fighting for survival, and the humans were intruders daring to challenge it. Finally, they reached the main console. The core of the alien control, glowing alien symbols pulsed rapidly. Energy spiraling outward, threatening to overload. Mara connected the ship's interface to the console, attempting to disrupt the energy flow. Kale hissed, You are making a mistake. This will destroy you all. Arin ignored him. We either control it, or it controls us. There is no other choice. With careful precision, they hacked the console, redirecting the energy pulses back into the alien system. The forest outside convulsed, predators screeched, and the ground trembled violently. The alien mind pulsed one last time. A deep vibration filling the chamber, then silence fell, heavy and complete. The holographic figures vanished, the energy spikes ceased, and the predators retreated into the shadows. The humans stood, battered, exhausted, but victorious. Arin exhaled slowly. It's over. For now. Yalan wiped sweat from his face. We did it. We really did it. Mara looked around, noticing the trembling walls. But it's not gone completely. Something else is still alive, watching, waiting, even in victory. The crew knew the galaxy was far from safe. They had survived the attack, struck back against overwhelming odds. But the alien mind was only one threat among many, and the galaxy would continue to test them at every turn. That night, the horizon ascended from the planet once more. The forest below slowly returned to normal, shadows still moving, but quieter. Arin looked at the stars, weary but determined. This was the first true victory for the colony. But survival is only the beginning. We have seen what the galaxy can do. And we will prepare. Humanity will not be prey. We will fight, adapt, and thrive. The crew rested, injuries tended, minds racing with plans for the future. the counterattack had succeeded. But the lessons were clear. In this galaxy, nothing could be taken for granted, and tomorrow new challenges would rise. More deadly, more intelligent, and more unforgiving. The horizon drifted silently through the cold expanse of space. Captain Arin stood at the observation deck, staring at the stars. The red planet they had barely survived now glimmered far behind them. The forest and its intelligent predators seemed distant. But Arin knew the lessons remained. Lieutenant Mara joined him quietly, her eyes still haunted by the memories of the battle. "We survived," she whispered. Arin nodded, but his gaze remained steady. "Yes, but survival is only the first step. The galaxy is not done testing us, and we cannot afford to forget what we learned inside the ship." The crew worked to repair systems, tend to wounds, and reorganize supplies. The betrayal of Kale had taught them to watch even their own. Yet it had also shown the strength of unity and determination. Yalin leaned over a console, adjusting energy shields. "I never thought we would make it out alive, but we did." "We really did," Arin smiled faintly. "Yes, but we cannot be complacent. This victory is temporary, and the galaxy is full of dangers we have not yet imagined." As they approached a nearby habitable planet, the crew began scouting for a new colony site. The surface looked promising. With rivers, forests, and open plains, the humans moved carefully. Landing in a wide valley shielded by cliffs, it felt safer. Calmer than the hostile planet they had just escaped. Yet even here, shadows flickered in the forests, and strange energy readings pulsed faintly. Arin gathered the colonists. "We start anew. This will be our home, at least for now. We rebuild, we adapt, and we prepare. But we never forget that the galaxy watches, and one day it may test us again." As the colonists worked to establish their new settlement, planting crops, setting up defenses, and repairing equipment, a sense of hope began to grow, slowly replacing fear. Children laughed quietly as they explored the safer parts of the valley. Engineers and scientists examined the land and atmosphere, planning for the long-term survival of humanity. Even Kale, now tightly restrained and monitored, worked under supervision, sharing knowledge of alien systems reluctantly. Arin knew he could not be trusted fully, but his skills were necessary for survival. At night, the sky stretched wide, the stars brighter than any humans had seen before. The new planet felt alive in a different way. Calm but watchful, Arin stood outside, looking at the glowing constellations, and whispered to himself, "We survived impossible odds. We survived betrayal, predators, and a hostile galaxy. And still, we endure." Mara joined him, her voice soft. "Do you think the galaxy will ever leave us alone?" Arin shook his head slowly. "No, but humans are clever, resilient, and adaptable. Every challenge we face makes us stronger, and we will face them together. As a colony, as a species, we are not prey. We are humanity." Suddenly, a faint pulse of energy flickered on the horizon. Barely visible, Jalen's scanner beeped urgently. "Captain, there's a signature. Unknown, intelligent. Approaching." Arin's eyes narrowed, his heart racing. The humans had survived one hostile galaxy, but this signal reminded them that danger was never far. He clenched his fists, determination burning. "Then we prepare. We will face whatever comes. We will adapt, fight, and survive. The galaxy may be hostile, but we are human, and we will endure." As the first settlement began to take shape, lights glowing softly in the valley, the crew worked tirelessly. Repairing, defending, and planning, the colonists felt hope for the first time in months. Yet the pulse on the horizon reminded them that the galaxy was alive. Aware and waiting, the humans had survived the forest, the predators, and betrayal, They had struck back against an intelligent alien mind. And now, a new chapter had begun, full of opportunity, danger, and suspense. Captain Arin looked at the stars once more, feeling the weight of responsibility. The galaxy was vast, and humanity was small. But clever, resilient, and unstoppable, he whispered softly. This is only the beginning. Humanity will not bow, will not surrender. We will rise, we will survive, and we will thrive. The hostile galaxy has not won, and it never will. Above them, the stars shone brightly. A reminder of the endless possibilities and challenges ahead. The human colony had survived, and a new era of courage, exploration, and hope was ready to begin.